Hi everyone, I'm Susie Ferrantino and I am a loan officer. I go the burbs to Boston and I also cover Rhode Island for my licensed states. And I want to just give you a little overview of myself so you get to know me because you got to know and like the people who you refer to and who you want to use in business. So I work for Homebridge. We're a lender. We're based out of New Jersey. My office is in Walpole and my house right now. I also have an office in Millis, so I'm very accessible to the local area. If you need your client's documents picked up or something dropped off, or you just want to meet up when it's not COVID, then you can always get in touch with me. This is my family. I have my husband Dave, my son Josh, who's in college, my daughter Jordan, who's a senior in high school, and Shay is a sophomore in high school, all in Millis. And that's one of my dogs, but I'll get into that in a second. This is my big dog, Sonoma. I don't know if you can see it, but she's a Newfie and she's awesome. She's super smart. She has two bionic knees because she just had ACL surgery on both knees in the same 4-month period, which was awful, just so you know. And doggy insurance doesn't cover it. It's a pre-existing condition, so that stunk. This is my old dog, Salem. She's a sweetheart and snuggles with you, but they keep us busy, and we live in a cul-de-sac in Millis, and they just run around and do their own thing, and they're very fun. I'm a baseball mom. This is Shay. He plays baseball. He's in club, and he also plays at Millis. He's actually going to do football this year. It's fall two sport or whatever because of COVID. So he does golf in the fall. So he gave football up, but now that it's a weird timing, he's going to um, try that out. I think it starts on Monday. This is my daughter Jordan. She's a soccer player. She's going to Babson. She committed to play soccer there, so it's very exciting in our house that she narrowed it down after 5 years of college showcases and playing soccer and everything. This is Josh. He's in college. He's going to be a diesel mechanic. He's doing phenomenal. He works at Rodman Ford on 109, and he's in the trades, which is great because hardly any kids go in the trades anymore. But he's a master and loves it. He's so happy, enjoys it. You gotta love what you do because you do it the rest of your life, right? So it's very exciting. One of my hobbies is golf. I golf with Roxanne often. This is in Vermont. I have a condo in Vermont. You'll see sometimes in the background I have brick in the background, but I'm in Millis this week because we rented our condo out for school vacation. I ski, I work out. I think I've seen Charmin in Compass before. I know I've seen Shafali there. I think that's where I met her. I'm a big runner, not like Allison, but I definitely am outside when I can be and do all my sports stuff and try to stay in shape in my old age. This is us skiing. Okimo's great. The snow this year is phenomenal. It's like out west, so it's kind of fun. My other favorite thing in the world is wine. I love wine. I like white wine and Chardonnay. I drink my fair share of it, but this is in Vermont, and you know that Clico place in Millis, that little bar thing. It used to be. I think it's closed now. It where Bada Bing's used to be. There's a place in Vermont that's called Main and Mountain, and it's just like that, except it's all outside, and they have like specialty cocktails and stuff. But the service is like top notch, and they make everything from scratch, and it's phenomenal. And this is at the fire pit out there. I just love it. It's like one of my favorite things. This is my little fun fact. I like brush with greatness, I call it. I met Kevin Costner and I introduced myself to him and we were talking at the bar and I didn't even have to look at him. I just liked talking to him and hearing his voice. And he was super nice. And I would never ask a celebrity to get my picture taken with them because I just think it's like not appropriate. And he was like, well, you can't talk to me for 5 minutes and then not ask for my picture. And I'm like, oh, I would never ask. I'd never ask. And he's like, you're not leaving here till you get your picture taken with me. So I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. So that's my little fun thing. Okay, now onto the business side. I'm, as I said, back to the burbs in Boston. I want to be your go-to mortgage person. If you think of mortgages, I want you to be like, well, I'm going to call Susie. I'm going to ask her the question. Use me as a resource. That's how you get to know me and like me and know I answer my phone and answer my emails. And if you don't hear from me, it usually means I didn't get your message. I'm very responsive. It's one of my huge selling points on service because a lot of people in my industry don't get back to people right away. So it's kind of frustrating for the consumer or the client. So I try to not be that person. I always have some updated economic information that I follow, so we know the trends on rates and where you're going. And people are like, "What does your crystal ball say?" Which it doesn't mean anything, but like Roxanne said earlier, we totally think rates are going to stay in the 3.5 to 2.5 for the next 6 months. They did pop up this week, which was interesting because of the new rollout of the relief stuff, but hopefully it will just come back down. People always just shop for rates. They don't shop for service. It's educating the buyer that it isn't all about rates sometimes. Sometimes you have high or bad credit, so your rate's going to be higher, or you are in a different type of product. I did a high net worth product for a borrower, and because you don't have a job, but she has a lot of assets, you can get a loan, but you're not going to get low rates. It's a riskier loan. You don't have a job, but they just sometimes are like, well, I have 800 credit scores and I have a lot of money. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't have a job. Like, it's just different types of products are available. So you can um, coach them through it, educate them on it, let them know, yeah, you have great credit. Once you get a job, you can just refinance out of this and get back into something else. It's just communicating with everyone in the transaction to make sure everybody knows who does what and when your commitment comes out. You want to make dates. You want to make sure you don't miss the closing date. Some of the bigger banks, like example Bank of America, I'll just throw them under the bus. They have great products and rates, but they can't hit commitment dates and timing. Their back office, we call it, or operations team, they just have huge volume, and you don't get that hand holding, we'll go to bat for you and do this for you. They kind of just throw you into a bucket and hope for the best type of thing. With us, we're a lender, we're much smaller, we don't have that banking atmosphere. We only do mortgages, so we're mortgage experts. And nothing against Shafali and Cheryl, they do their whole scheme of everything. But I also don't do commercial lending, so I would refer to Shafali. So it's all like who you know, because if you're working with a client and they're like, "Hey, I have this commercial property," I'm like, "Hey, I got the person for you." So then it works out that way. Um, we always say, who's the best referrals for us? It's friends and family members and coworkers and the neighbor who's talking to you about possibly selling. A huge thing that works for me is being able to refer to a realtor, a client who's thinking of selling too. Robin's not on today, but oh my God, if you can refer to a realtor, then they send you mortgage business going forward. And it's just hard to find that one person who doesn't have a realtor relationship yet. So if you know of anyone, you can go through me or directly to Robin too, but that's like a great one. Um, so on the right hand side of the slide, what do? I do purchases, refinances. We have access to 203K rehab loans. We have coaches that help the clients through those loans because they're a little more difficult and lots of layers. We do new construction. Um, we also, because we're a lender, we can broker on other products. So we don't just have our own conforming stuff. We also can go to, it's called investors. So we sell to other investors, and we can pick and choose what's best for you, get the best rates. So you don't have to go shopping and looking around. It's like one of the little perks of being a lender. And if you hear like it's bank, lender, broker, the brokers, they close in the investor's name, so they don't really have a lot of control over the transaction, but they don't have a lot of overhead either. So their closing costs might be a little bit different, but the rates are basically the same. But being a lender, I can do both the broker stuff and I have my own stuff so that we can close in our name. So if you go to the closing table, everything says Homebridge all over it. But people always wonder, like, what's the difference between the three different ways you can get mortgages. We can do adjustables. We can do first time home buyers, jumbo and conforming. So that being said, that's basically all about me, and my husband's knocking on the door to let him in. So I will end right there. Be right back. Sorry.
Thanks, Susie. All right. I'm going to stop the screen sharing. All right.
All right. Sorry about that. So if anybody has any questions, let me know too.
Are you done? Can I stop the sharing so we can see everybody?
Yeah.
There we go. Very good. Thank
And
you.
recording.
Questions might be good for people to hear.
Okay.
If anyone has anything. I
Well-
know Susie and I know her family, and so it's, you know, she underscores the talent of her children. I think they're all do amazing at what they do, and my son will be playing football as well. He's a soccer player, but he's going to take advantage of the extra ball sports season and play football too. So wish them both luck.
While people are thinking of questions, I just want to say a few things about Susie, because she and I have been working together, known each other since 2007. So for a very long time, 14 years. And she's done personal loans for me. So I think I can attest to her not only as a business partner, but as a client. When she says she's responsive, that literally is an understatement. She is super responsive. I work with lots of different people, but she is one of the best resources I've had for a long time. And it's not only about her, but it's about the team around her. So Mike, who's on her team, has been with her for a long time. He's also a licensed loan officer. And there are times when, you know, you can just go to Mike and get something quick, or my team can go to Mike, and our teams work really well together. And so I really appreciate not only her, but the team around her. And when she gives that long list of products, I think what she does is, as a great loan officer, she's not only an advocate for you, but she helps you figure out the right product. Because a lot of times clients will come to her and us and they'll be like, I want an adjustable rate mortgage. And she'll ask, well, why do you want that? And it may or may not be the right product. So I think she really goes that extra step to make sure it's right for people, as opposed to what their parents have or their friends have, or if they read on the internet. Because some people are just order takers, and that's just not who she is. So I'm glad that you're here, Susie, because I think not only are you great at what you do, but you're local to the community, and Millis like entrenched in it. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Susie? All right.
Yay. Thanks, guys.